All right. So hi Anusree.
Hi, Arya.
Hi. So today is the first knowledge series session that we are attempting, and I have Anusree with me. So Anusree, इनके एंगने परिचय निकल I think she was a WIT cohort one participant, and that's sort of how I know her. And very recently, she became a Google Women Techmaker scholar. Also, I'll let her talk more about herself. So today we have Anusree with us, and we'll probably have a quick conversation. And it's more, even though there is an audience, this is more of me talking to Anushree about her experience and learning more, because I know that she applied and that she got in and that she had a great time, but this is just learning a bit more about the whole thing, right? So Anushree, do you want to quickly introduce yourself, tell us a bit more about you?
Hi, Arya. So I'm very happy that you actually, I had this opportunity to share my experience to rethink. So as she said, I'm a Google Women Techmaker scholar, and also I'm a third year engineering student of Model Engineering College.
Okay.
Basically, I work in web scraping, and I'm also learning ML and NLP in these days. So I also work as a core member of Pehya Foundation, which is an NGO working towards empowering gender minorities. So
Okay.
that's the quick view of who I am.
Okay, quick brief, right? So tell me about the scholarship. Like, when did you first hear about the scholarship, WTM scholarship?
Yeah, as I said before, I was working in Pehya, so I was looking after the opportunity wing of Pehya. So it
Okay.
was me responsible for posting all these recent scholarships and all those job opportunities. So it is through that I found out the scholarship, and so at that time I was also looking for a scholarship through which I can start applying. So
Okay.
before WTM I haven't applied for any scholarships or any other opportunities, be it internship or anything. So when I just viewed the scholarship form, it was just 3 questions and just the profile filling was there, so I thought I will start from here. So it was my
Okay.
first application.
That's nice. So, beginner's luck, I don't know, first application got lucky. You were very rightly prived. But anyway, thumbs up. But so I'm curious here. So, how do you locate these opportunities? So you said you used to find these scholarships, and you used to inform the Pahiya community about it. So how would you find these scholarships and opportunities?
Actually, there are many websites which actually list the scholarship.
Mhm.
Actually, there was one website called, I clearly don't remember, like Women Scholarship or something like that. One website was there. So
Mhm.
actually, I was going through that and I found this, and also through Twitter. Twitter is a great medium to find these opportunities. That
Mhm.
was how I was finding.
So how did you use Twitter? I mean, is there any particular handle that you follow, or how do you generally use Twitter to find these opportunities?
I usually actually search the tags
Okay.
to find any particular scholarship is open or not.
Okay. So, I mean, can you give me an example?
We are able to search like scholarship
Hmm.
tags, so we will be able to, like, we can actually try out different combinations of tags so that we can find which scholarships are recently open or which are the popular scholarships that are open recently. So it was that
Okay.
way I was finding.
Okay. So, sort of like Women in Tech Scholarship or Google Scholarship.
Yes. Actually,
Something.
when I was applying, I was not knowing it was a Google initiative. I was not
Oh,
knowing what WTM was, or if I knew it was a Google thing, I wouldn't have applied because I was too. I would have been too scared to apply for that. I thought it was a community like thing, so I just applied for it.
you apply for it. Okay. So, your initial feeling when you saw the application without knowing that it was Google was that, hey, this is simple. It's just three
Ah,
questions.
yeah, just 3 questions.
Yeah. So then, okay, cool. So, what was the process like for you? So, you saw the application, and then how did you get started, and what did you do after that? Like once you saw the application.
I think the application was open during my summer vacations. So I was having a full 1 month to apply for it.
Mhm.
So there were only 3 questions and filling the profile. So I was doing each thing each week, like each question each week.
Okay.
So I was even during the filling of this application, I didn't knew it was a Google initiative. So I was just writing my heart out like in a medium, like in a medium blog. I was writing my heart out there. So it was only it was only during the interview call I checked out more on the scholarship. What are the reports that I'm going to get if I win this scholarship? Then I actually understood the grandeur of the scholarship.
Okay, that's actually very interesting. I've not heard anybody say that story like that. But yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, so what got you motivated? I mean, most students, right? It's only when they see the reward that you feel like, hey, I want to go for that. So there was recently this conference that I discovered. It was by UNESCO, and they pick 40 people across the world and they bring you together for a conference, right? So, I mean, the fact that I can go to Korea for free was definitely a motivator, right? To South Korea. So, uh, without knowing, the reward, how did you, like, what motivated you to sort of put in that application?
Like I wanted to start somewhere, start applying for something. So I just want to try out an application. So actually, WTM was a trial for me. Uh, so actually, I thought that it will just take me 2 hours to fill the scholarship form because only 3 questions was there, and the resume was I already had my resume and the transcripts too. So I just have to upload these things. So I just thought that, and also after reading this, who they want as a scholar, like a community engaged student who is also technically good. So I thought that actually when you read a scholarship description you actually feel that, oh, this is actually they are looking for someone like me. So I just got that feeling, so I thought, okay, I'll just try
So
out.
you left that. Okay. So, I mean, by telling yourself that this is a trial, there was no pressure of, what
Yeah,
I don't get in and all. Okay. That's a very interesting angle. I like that. Very new learning from yours. Nice. So, yeah, and then how did you go about it? So you just started writing. So you took 1 week each, and then you just kept writing whatever came to your mind. Is it?
just I just wrote my heart out there.
Okay. And then there was no word limit. There was, right?
Yes, there was no limit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 200 words each for each questions, and
Hmm.
there was 3 questions like, what are the structural hindrances that you found in your society which
Hmm.
prevented the women to pursue in tech, and what are the things? Why do you think technology is such an important component in the
Hmm.
present day? And the third question was, what did I do as a woman to encourage other women to participate in tech? I think these were the 3 questions.
Okay, got it. So I think this year the questions are slightly different also. I mean, when I just
Different, yeah.
opened, yeah, I didn't see any of these questions. I saw one question, which is what have you done for women in tech? But I think the other two
Yes,
questions are different, right?
yes.
Cool.
And
So,
also this year, one question is, like you have to upload your like a research paper or something
hmm,
technical too. For us, it was
okay.
only a resume that can show how technically sound a good keyboard. It was
So
only resume.
I'm not sure if research paper has been mentioned, but there's an optional this thing for certificates of coding competitions. So let me just load up my
Yeah,
screen.
like one question was either we can upload like a research paper or
Right,
some technical projects that we had did. So we
right.
have to actually upload that thing.
Okay. So I mean, I think this is this thing, right? So you have three short questions, um, and I think that's it. Yeah, you have three questions, and then based on what it looks like in this one sec. There's a website also. This one. Yeah, yeah. So this is all you need. I mean, you have those questions, and then a copy of your resume, your current transcript, which is basically your mark list, and then
Yeah.
proof of any coding competition. So I don't think research paper as such has been mentioned.
The last question was, have you done any projects? And
Okay.
if you have done any project, you have to like a report, like a project report. You have to write it there.
Oh,
The
okay.
last.
All right. Okay. I mean, I'm not even within this. I didn't see that, so maybe it's there inside the application form. I haven't
Yeah.
signed up and checked it out.
Uh, yeah, one of my friend was applying and she asked me.
Oh, okay. Got it. Cool. So probably it's slightly more difficult this time. It appears
Yeah.
so. But I think in terms of the essays, it's very simple this time. It's more about
Yes.
you and all that. Right. So I
Yeah.
mean, when you saw these essays, like you were completely fine with it, and you just kept writing, and uh, so the questions, and how did you go about writing those essays particularly?
Uh, Actually, we were as I was working in Pehia. we usually used to discuss these kind of questions, the whys we are working for. So all these things we naturally discuss these things. So I normally had an idea about how to go about this question, the points that I have to put forward,
Okay.
all these things. So it
Okay.
was easy to. Yeah.
It was easier. So did you probably use some articles, or did you use any numbers or survey numbers or anything in your essay, or was it just experience based? So where you said, in my opinion, this is like this, my experience, this is like this, or did you have data also?
I think at that time HackerRank's report was out regarding women in tech. So
Okay.
I used the statistics to show that my views on these things was right.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Makes sense. So, and in terms of your resume, you said you already had a resume. So, when did you first create your resume, and how did you go about it at that point in time?
Like I usually forgot about the things that I do. So I actually write it in a doc, whatever I do.
Hmm.
So I after like when I if I want to create a resume, I don't miss out any points.
Right.
So I had a resume created, so I keep adding the points into it whenever I do something.
Okay.
Usually the technical projects when we like do any hackathons and all, so those things we usually miss out because those are competitions, so we usually
Right.
participate in a lot. So whenever we used to create these little tiny projects, I used to add to that. So
Okay.
in that it was specially mentioned that like there was an interview conducted by Anjali prior to this WTM scholarship. So in that she was also telling that how little your project is, we don't care, we just want to see how technically engaged you are.
Okay. Got it. Right. So, I mean, when did you first create this resume, and where did you pick this insight from, to keep adding on to it?
Like when the thought of me like when like placements in our college were telling about the resume creation and all to
Hmm.
our seniors. So one point I thought what my resume what all will contain in my resume. So I thought it will be blank because I didn't had anything to add to my resume. So
Okay.
after like thinking for so many hours, so each little points came to me. So I thought that so okay, I will collect it here. I collect it in a doc so that I don't forget anything. So
Okay. So, you
at
did this
last I
in
will
your,
have a good.
yeah, makes sense. So, you did this in your second year or third year?
Yeah, second year.
Second. Okay, got it. Cool. So, I mean, what was the application process like? So, you have to fill this form, and then what happens after that?
You have to answer those questions. Then after from these submissions, you will be shortlisted.
Hmm.
So then you will have the interview call, which is about 30 minutes. And
Hmm.
that's
And that's all.
it.
So, interviews like on a phone call or Skype or
Yeah, it
Hangout.
was a phone call. It is purely based on your three questions, the questions that you answered. Not for me, it wasn't based on my resume. It was purely based on the questions that I've answered, like the activities that I have done, and these.
Okay. So, what do they typically ask? I mean, you have already written all those things, right?
Yeah,
So,
my view is that they just want us to they want to verify whether what we have written is right, like whether we have done these activities really, all those things, because it is not a made up story like the outreach activities that we have done. So
right.
like a story, they will ask us, so what happened after that, all those things.
Okay, got it. So, they just want to evaluate whether you're the same person who's written and who's is speaking.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Whether your view on women and tech are the same as you have written in there.
Okay, got it. So, and then did you know that you will be getting a call sometime? Were you expecting the call?
Yeah, I just had a feeling that after that, after I knew that it was a Google thing and all, I just had a feeling that maybe I will get selected for this because I just fit in all the criteria that they were mentioning. So I just
Okay.
thought that okay, I will get this thing. But I never like I usually whenever I get a phone call at night because I read some blogs and all. Usually they call at night and they will surprise you and all. So whenever when my phone rings, I will naturally like will get something on my stomach like butterflies in my stomach. Oh, is it them?
Okay, so you sort of knew that they will be calling, but you didn't have an exact schedule or anything, right? So they just randomly called you.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool. So did you?
Even before mailing that we were selected, they will just make some prank calls.
Oh, okay. So what
like
is
for
this
me,
prank all about?
like for me, she was like calling me and asked me whether I was Anusree. and whether I'm from this particular college and all. So I was thinking, why the hell is this person asking me these things? So just got like very angry, and I asked her, I asked her back, what do you want to know these things? First, tell me who you are, then I'll answer these things. Then she was ignoring my questions and continuity asking me all the works I'm doing in Pehia and all these things. Then then after some point I began to realize this person's voice, because I asked her back that aren't you Anjali, the WTM the Google outreach lead, because she has done so many interviews in the YouTube promoting this WTM scholarship. So her voice was so I knew her voice. Yeah. So she just laughed at a lot, and she said me that I was actually planning to make out a prank call on you, and you just actually
okay, that's actually very fun. Everybody sort of gets this prank call, or was it just you?
I think everybody gets this prank call, because during our first meeting, she was telling us how she was making each of these prank calls, and how I realized how that Anjali was.
Okay, that's interesting. Cool. So for your telephonic interview, did you prepare? Like, was there a process? Like, did you do something?
Yes, I just read all the reports regarding this women in tech initiatives. All those when we say that there is some biases in this particular industry, we have to actually back up with some data. We can't just blatantly say that we are being biased or transgenders are not there in tech. We can't just say that. So I was reading a lot of reports that were coming out that day.
So that okay, got it. Yeah, I also remember you had sent an email, right, and asking if there's somebody. I don't know if it was you or Amalu. And then you guys were put in touch with Sukriti, and then you had a call with her or so, right?
Yeah, Sukriti was of a great help.
Yeah, so Sukriti is a previous WTM scholar, and you guys had a chat with her. I think she also made a presentation and told you what to expect and all that.
Yeah, she helped us a lot with the interview process, because we never knew how the interview was. So she was so kind to make a whole presentation on it, and like sit for like 1 hour, I think, and she explained all the slides, and I actually had an AMA session with her. So it was really kind of her.
Right, that's very nice to know. All right, so then tell me a bit about your projects. Like, what kind of projects did you have at that time? Okay, when you were applying.
Yeah, at that time, I think I had an IoT project, a home security thing, and a platform that we created to anonymously report this women assault, sexual assaults.
Okay.
Then I think then a web scraping project. I was having a web scraping project too. I think these were the three main projects that I had.
Okay. So, did you do any research papers or internships?
No, I hadn't done any internships or research papers.
Okay, got it. Cool. And then finally, you got the email and you got selected, right? So, what was your reward for the scholarship?
Of course, the retreat was the main thing, and also we get the tuition fee for 1 whole year. It's a one-time scholarship, and also first we will give till last year they weren't giving that, but for our cohort they were giving in advance the money that we were planning to do as their outreach activities. Like it was almost like 20,000 rupees, or I think 30,000 rupees in advance they were giving us. And when the 30,000 is exhausted, we can again make a request for additional amounts, like detailing our project plan and all. So we can.
So what is this money for? This money is for your tuition fees or for doing a project?
Yeah, our tuition fees is also there. That is like 75,000. That was a tuition fee. Then 30,000 for the outreach activity. This 30,000 was in advance. Usually they don't give it, but for our cohort they gave. And then we can also make a request. Like even now we can make requests to them if we want any additional money. So they just will go through our report and all those things, and they will grant us.
Oh, that's actually very nice. So, I mean, is this a fixed amount for everyone, or does it vary according to so if my tuition fees is say 10,000 rupees, right? Like I said,
the tuition fees vary according to the country.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, according to the country. So
Yeah.
everyone in India has 75,000 as the standard tuition fees. Okay, and
Yeah.
additional 30K is also the first basic. Everybody gets 30K, and on top of that, if you want, you can request more.
Yes.
Okay, got it. That's actually interesting. I didn't know about the monetary angle. Like, you don't find it anywhere in the website, also. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I also didn't notice anywhere. Right, and where was the retreat? Where did it happen?
Yeah, it was in the Singapore headquarters. It was really nice because on the for the 4 days we were stayed in the hotel, but like we only returned back at 8 p.m. and all. So we just feel that the whole day we are in the Google headquarters. We had food was amazing. We had the food like the food is like we can have food from all countries. So and we have this all these APAC scholars from different countries. So they will actually take the food from their countries and will tell me that you just taste this. This is amazing. This is a good food. And of course, like the main fruit that we were served with was jackfruit. So I used to tell them that this is from our state. You just taste this.
Nice. That's interesting. I mean, I've never, I mean, I was recently in Singapore and I didn't notice jackfruit. I mean, I noticed that they were selling, but didn't know that it was a thing there, you know? So
Uh,
that's interesting. Kollab. So
Most
then,
sought after food is jackfruit there.
nice, very nice. So can you show us some pictures if you have
Yeah,
those,
sure.
right? So how many days was the retreat? 2 days, 3 days,
4 days.
4 days. Okay. And
Yeah.
they, you know, sponsor the entire travel and accommodation and everything.
Yes. Yes. Oh, everything. We just have to go.
You
Even
just,
our taxi, even they pay for the taxi to the airport.
oh, okay. So everything is
This
sorted.
was our last day. Can you see?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see.
Yeah. So this was actually the last day where we wear t-shirts. So this was actually like a closing ceremony and all.
Okay.
So there was actually we were like they were briefing out how the interview like internship or any job interview will be. So we were having a mock interview process also out there.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
So, oh, you interview each other. That was the process, is it?
no, actually there'll be a person standing out there. So
Hmm.
he'll be asking a questions like how he will ask to an like internship applicant.
Hmm.
So there will be another Googler who will be answering those. So
Okay.
we will be made to like we will be asked what has this person made wrong in this particular scenario. So
Okay.
all yeah.
Got it. So, what were the other sessions also included? Like this was one. So 4 days. How was the sort of
It was
schedule?
actually really a retreat itself because we didn't had many technical session and all. We had many games and treasure hunts and scavenger hunts. Scavenger hunt was fun because we got to travel through the entire Singapore city. They will actually give us slots like in different parts in Singapore. So we'll have to go there and take the pics and upload it in their drive. Then according to that, how many places we visit, we get the points for that. And
Oh,
like it was like fun event.
that's cool. So, how do you travel? Like, you take a cab or the MRT?
Like we will be given a card which is already like paid for their public transport and all. So we just can swipe through it to use the public transport.
Okay. So it feels like dreamland, no? Coming from like here, it's very different. There, it's very different. So,
Yeah.
hey, that's nice. This was your closing, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And this was at the National Gallery out there. We had the dinner at the National Gallery for a day. So these girls are from Japan, so we
Okay.
still have connection with them. Like they are really sweet. They actually explain a lot about their culture and all this. Like we were just like best friends out there. They will usually come out with us during the night. It was very nice. These girls were with us. They
Nice.
actually when we actually bit apart, we were actually so much sad because we won't get to see each other again. So we were telling that maybe during the next GHC or something we will see.
We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's nice. So, how do you keep in touch? Do they have WhatsApp? I don't know. I mean, or emails.
No, they don't even have like Facebook in their country, like in China and all. So
Yeah.
we usually so these girls, it's not like us. They used to travel a lot between different countries. They used to present papers. Actually, it was through WTM that when I got the WTM, that particular tag, I never knew that before the retreat how much valuable it was or how much responsibility it weighed on me. But actually seeing these girls, I understood the value of that particular tag, and like we have a concept in Kerala like itrakke madi,
Right.
adakku madi. Like so, it was after seeing these girls that I actually realized that I have to live up to that particular tag. I have to learn more technically. So
Right.
it was actually after seeing them that I understood that how much weight that particular badge have cast upon me.
Got it.
Because it's not just being a women tech maker, it's not just about your community works, it's also about being a community leader by equally showing that particular technical skills that you have got.
Right.
So,
That's actually very nicely put. Makes a lot of sense. This is a session you had, right? What's happening in the session?
this was that mock interview thing. That was it.
Ah, okay. Nice. Nice.
This was actually the hotel that we stayed at.
Ah, nice. I mean, where was this hotel? Like, which hotel was it? Do you remember the name?
It was a hotel Alexandra.
Alexandra. Okay.
Yes.
Is it Marina Bay or where is it?
Um, I actually don't remember the place right now.
Okay. All right. So you like Singapore? Do you want to go back sometime to Singapore?
Yeah, of course, because the people are so nice out there. Actually, we talked to a lot of natives when we roamed about the city at night. Of course, the city is so safe that we were actually roaming out in the city like at 12 and 1 because it was only at 8 that we came back to the hotel. So after we like had our shower and all, we just start to roam about 11. Then we just
Right.
came back at 2:33 and all, and the pups, even the pups are so safe.
Yeah, that's very true. Nice. So, what did you do with your 30,000 rupees that you got? How did you use it?
uh, like we in Pehia we did a C camp, which was like a transgender training or employability program where
Mhm.
we teach these transgenders to code. It was like a 10-day event. So my 20,000, I spent my 20,000 for that particular event.
Okay.
Then we had some like minor events also.
Hmm.
So I
Nice. So they do they have a specific criteria as to you can only spend in these things or and you can't spend in other stuff?
No, the only thing is that we have to fill a particular form, like why we spend this, why what have we gained after running this program, like in terms of soft skills and also technical skills. So what they mainly aim at is that how we grew after running that particular program
Okay,
as a
got it.
person.
Nice. And they review it. So if you want say additional amount, additional money, have you requested for additional money or no?
Yeah, I have made a request. It hasn't been granted yet because I recently only did the request. So they have to review the particular project that we are going to undertake.
Okay, got it. So what's the process like? They give you a call or you have a discussion and then they
No, we just have to fill a Google form.
and then so the review they just review and then they approve and they transfer the money, is it? Okay, got it. Nice. So is there something that anything new that really you picked up during the entire experience, like from filling the application to the interview process and the retreat and coming back and just staying in touch with all your friends from your with your friends across the world, right? What
Yeah.
are some of those new things that you've picked up in the process? Or any realizations
Uh,
you had, like ഇപ്പൊ പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ ഇതൊക്കെ ഇത്രയൊക്കെ മതി എന്ന് നമ്മൾ we typically say that, right? um,
yes, yes.
so you realize that you should probably push your limits. Anything else like that?
Yeah. Like before getting the scholarship, even after getting the scholarship, before meeting these kids, I never thought that I would I never even dreamed that I would one day work at Google. I never even dared to dream such things. So after going there, I was telling myself that why should I work in this mediocre companies? I should work in my dream companies. So
Right.
that was one major thing. And also, I made a decision that I will never work soon after I complete my graduation. I will do my higher studies. That was the first
Okay.
firm decision that I took.
Mm-hmm.
After only completing my higher studies, I will go for like any sort of companies and all. If
Why
so,
is
that
that?
was
If I may ask, why is that?
sorry.
Why is that? Why that decision? Yeah.
Because out there at Google, we had an opportunity to talk with many Googlers. Especially there was one Malayali Googler out there. So he just told us that uh, throughout his life he has seen many tech enthusiasts who are like soon after the particular period, like the undergraduation is over, they soon work out there or pursue their project and all. So he said in the long run it's not going to work unless you have a firm background in particular field. You have to pick out a particular field, and unless you have that firm background, it's actually this time you can only study. In these 20s, you can make your education form and your base form. So unless you do that in this time, you won't be able to climb the ladder after
Okay.
a particular age. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right. So, I mean, I've actually heard different narratives. So, different people have different opinions about this thing, right? So, like I said, I recently visited Singapore, and there
Yeah.
I went to INSEAD and NUS and NTU and all that. So, everybody there is like, come here after work experience. So,
Okay.
if you're looking to go for research or a PhD, or, if you want to like really focus on your studies, then yes, direct studies make sense. But otherwise, like get some experience and then do your master's and then get into the industry. So they were
Okay.
saying that the industry experience would help if you want to work in the industry, that is. But if your passion is to
Okay.
go do research, then you can go for study. That's something else I heard. That's all.
Yeah. The thing is that like a large number of people after getting in the industry, instead of like pursuing a full-fledged masters, also they will resort to some distance education,
Right.
some sort of things like that.
Right.
Mostly people tend to do that. So
Right.
in order to avoid that, is actually advised that you complete your thing and then come into the industry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, each person picks what works for them, right? So I'm actually glad that you got to at least speak to these people and get different perspectives. So that,
Yes.
really helps in making your decision. So that's nice. Yeah. And then you were saying anything else that that was very interesting for you, eye opening for you, your realization.
Um, like actually, like I think it was there in your credo, like വണ്ടി പിടിച്ച് പോകണം പോകേണ്ട സ്ഥലത്ത് പോകണം. It is just that exposure is the key.
Right.
Even if you have all the skills, all these things, unless you have the exposure on how to use this particular skills at the correct time,
Right.
uh, there won't be any use. And also
Right.
meeting these people, but because now we are having a good community out there,
Yep.
the scholarship will not end after getting the particular money. I
Right.
actually think scholarship starts after getting this money and all, because we are having a very strong community where we can ask things, where we see how others build up their career from
Right.
scratch and all. So it's just an inspiration for us, for other girls and so on. So
Yeah.
trying out these things are actually good.
It's actually good. Yeah. So I mean, they select about I think 70 girls across Asia, right? 70 or 75 or so. So I think it
75.
75. Yeah. So it's very nice. You have this whole peer network. You can always ask each other for inputs. You get more exposure. So they'll tell you about opportunities in Japan, in China, and Singapore, and you can tell them about stuff happening here. That's actually very nice. So very, very good to know, Anushree. I mean, I think I've also seen you really progress and grow. Even when we met at GHCI and all that, right? I've been seeing you for I don't know how couple of months at least, right? So it's been a
Yeah.
very nice, pleasant
I think
experience for me.
it was actually when I got selected for the WIT cohort. Then at that time I got selected for this too. It was
Okay,
actually
yeah, around the
the
same
same.
time. Yeah. So yeah, right before that, I think only we had interacted over mails for that, especially when I connected you all to Sukriti and all that, right? But that's about it. It's very nice to see that you've transcended a couple of those levels and you've realized that, hey, I've got to do stuff and I can do more and I should do justice to my potential, right? So it feels
Yeah.
really good to see that come out. Nice. So like, I mean, you also got to attend GHCI as part of the scholarship.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
Actually, we are having another like form where you have to fill the same questions that the GSCI form actually asks for. Then
Oh.
from that, they actually select girls from that.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. And you also get, information about internships and job offers, job roles at
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
Did you apply for any?
I actually applied for the internship and I attended the internship interview too, but I didn't get through that internship.
But
Yeah,
then that's
it
it.
was an experience. Yeah.
It was a good experience. Nice. So you're looking to do your master's immediately, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And after that, do you have some sort of idea as to where you want to get to, like work or research or be an academician or?
Yeah, I'm actually a research oriented person. So if I find that interesting after doing my master's, I'll definitely pursue that. Otherwise, I'll enter the industry.
Nice. That sounds great. So you've already you're looking at doing your masters in India or outside?
Yeah,
Masters
it will be out.
outside. Okay. So
Yeah,
you've written your GRE and all that, or like you're in third year, right? So your application process has started.
yeah, I'm in third year. I think it is during this summer vacation. I'm planning to write this year.
Okay, cool. Sounds great. Any dream university? I should ask that question.
Okay.
Cambridge. Okay, got it. Cool. So, Anusree, I think we'll wrap it up now. Thank you so much for taking our time and speaking with me, or speaking with us. Right? It was very nice listening to your experience, and I can see on your face how much fun you had, in Singapore and the whole thing. Right? It's very
Yeah,
evident. So very
yeah.
nice of you to take out time, and this is also our first knowledge series. So I think I also had a lot of comfort and fun. Huh?
The honor is all mine.
Honor is all yours. Okay. Nice. All right. So thank you so much. I think we'll wrap it up now. Do you have any closing remarks to add? So yeah, the scholarship is open right now, by the way. So yeah, we were discussing, right? So if anybody is interested in applying, feel free to do that. Do you have any tips or suggestions? Or let's put it this way, something you would have told Anusree when she was filling the application or just getting started.
Yeah, for all the girls out there, they'll ask me whether I can include this particular project in my resume or that. So what I will suggest is that include everything, even if you think that there is a very naive project that you have done, include that too in your resume, because resume is the only place that you have to project your technical skills out there. So
Hmm.
so do that, and also don't only take a particular key point, because you only have that 200 words out there, and many girls have done these days have done many outreach programs for this particular women in tech initiative. So take out that two or three the particular projects that you have done as the community work, and try to elaborate it as a story, so that that evaluator will understand how you are going through that particular process and know you as a personality, like how you took that initiative to start that particular project, then how that particular project shaped and all that. Then rest all these things in the resume. I will
Okay.
actually suggest that.
Nice. But so this time I think they have included another question, what have you done in computer science and all that. So I think there is
Yeah.
some space to expand about their
Yes.
projects this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course, I mean, I think my key takeaway from this thing would be, how you tried it, right? As a trial, you gave it a shot,
Yeah.
without expecting anything, no pressure also. And then you just wrote your heart out and you gave it one honest attempt. So I think that is one thing I have taken back from the whole conversation. All right. Cool. So thank you so much, Anushree. It was wonderful speaking to you. Thanks also for showing the pictures. Very nice having you. I'll have this published and I will let you know when we do that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.